Basketball fans, welcome into NBA Now from Chat Sports. And look, the draft is behind us. The awards are behind us, finally. So can we finally please just focus on NBA free agency? That's what we're doing here today on Chat Sports. And we're diving in with the biggest name of them all. It's Kawhi Leonard of the Toronto Raptors. Obviously just won a championship, helped them win their first ever in franchise history. But the latest rumor out there is that the Dallas Mavericks are expected to get a sit-down meeting with the star small forward. Now, that came from Chris Sheridan, but then Mike Fisher, who always reports on all things Dallas Mavericks, he says that, well, really the Mavs are unsure of whether or not they'll really get that meeting with Kawhi Leonard, but there's hope. There's a chance for the Mavs that they could do it. So, of course, Dallas is a long shot. They haven't been mentioned in any kind of rumors with Kawhi whatsoever. It's always been the Raptors, the Clippers, and everybody else. But hey, if the Mavs can at least get a meeting, that's a step in the right direction, right? Well, obviously everybody wants a meeting with the guy. He had an incredible season with Toronto, 26.6 points per game, 7.3 rebounds per game, 3.3 assists, and then 37.1% from beyond the three-point arc. And of course, this doesn't even show the fact that Kawhi Leonard is one of, if not the best, perimeter defender in the league when he's healthy. The dude can anchor any defense. He showed it in the finals. He showed it all playoffs long. So let's say the Mavs do pull off this somewhat of a miracle and they end up landing Kawhi Leonard after a sit-down meeting. Well, all of a sudden your big three in Dallas is pretty sturdy. You get Kawhi, who's nearly 30 points per game there. Kristaps Porzingis, who when healthy was averaging 22.7 points per game. And then, of course, the new rookie of the year, Luka Doncic, 21.2 points per game. That's quite the big three, if you ask me. So what would the potential lineup look like? Well, of course you get those three. And then the Mavs, that maxes out their money, that maxes out their cap space, so you can't go really get a new point guard or a new center. But that's okay, because in all reality, Jalen Brunson, although he was a second-round pick, stepped up in a big way last season once J.J. Barea went down with a torn Achilles and Dennis Smith Jr. got traded away from the team. Jalen Brunson showed that he is a quality starting point guard in the NBA. And then at the center position, Dwight Powell, who just recently opted into his contract and is expected to get an extension from Dallas, he averaged 10.6 points per game. He's a good rim-rolling center. And that's the kind of guy you need next to Porzingis. So you get Luka, Porzingis, Kawhi. Does the rest even really matter? I don't know. But if this actually happens for the Mavs, if they can actually land Kawhi Leonard in free agency, do you think they would be the favorite to win the 2019-2020 NBA title? It's kind of hard to say no, right? You just got the Finals MVP who just led a team to the NBA championship. You have a Rookie of the Year in Luka Doncic, and you have an elite player in Porzingis when he's healthy. Let me know in the comment section what you think about that big three. But moving on from the Mavs, who in all reality aren't super realistic, let's move on to a team that is a little bit more realistic for Kawhi Leonard. It's the Los Angeles Clippers. Now, of course, everybody says there's no tampering. Yeah, whatever. There's already a meeting getting ready to happen on July 2nd between the Clippers and Kawhi Leonard. So we know that it's at least coming. We've always kind of thought that the Clippers and the Kawhi Leonard, there was at least something there. Well, now it's sounding like it's getting more and more official. He's going to plan to sit down with the team on July 2nd. Of course, free agency, the first day you can sit down with teams is June 30th. Maybe he's saving that slot for the Toronto Raptors. So let's look at the four teams that have been rumored and most closely linked to Kawhi Leonard. I don't have the Dallas Mavericks up there because I'm a realist here, okay? Toronto, number one. You know, they want their guy back. They want to make another run at the NBA Finals, and if they can get him back, they have a real shot at it. Number two, it's the Clippers. And then really after that, it's everybody else. I just don't think there are any other teams that really make sense for Kawhi. I truly believe once free agency opens, everyone gets to talk and all the rumors start spilling out. It's going to be between the Toronto Raptors and the Los Angeles Clippers. So let's say he goes to LA. That meeting goes well. He says, hey, I want to be a Clipper, which not many people have said in the past. Then all of a sudden, a starting five's pretty solid. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is really a good two-way point guard, had a great rookie season this past year. Lou Williams, he just won Sixth Man of the Year, but in all reality, we can put him in here as a starter because he gets starter-type minutes. Danilo Gallinari, they may look to move his contract, but for now, a nearly 20-point-per-game scorer will slot him in there at the forward position. Montrezl Harrell was also up for Sixth Man of the Year, but he also gets starter minutes, so that's why I've got him here in this lineup with Kawhi. And then there you have it. The best player on your team is Kawhi Leonard. So this team without Kawhi already went to the NBA playoffs. If all of a sudden they land Leonard, maybe they're a top 4 team in the West? Call me crazy, but it is not out of the realm of possibility. So we're being real here on Chat Sports. We're realistic with you guys. It's either between the Clippers or the Raptors. At least that's what I think. That's what everybody here at Chat Sports believes. We want to know what you guys think in the comment section. If you think he's going to the Clippers, type LAC. Think he's going back to Toronto, type TOR. And if you think he's going to a different team, maybe the Dallas Mavericks, type O, and then tell me which team you think he's going to land with this summer. And then after you do all that, after you put your comments down there, I gave you a little bit of time, you can go get that done. I want you to subscribe to youtube.com/chatsportstv. You're already watching our videos. If you're looking anywhere else for NBA content, you're going to the wrong place. Just subscribe right now, youtube.com/chatsportstv. Do it. Get it done. Go subscribe. Let's move on to another big name free agent. This one for the Brooklyn Nets. It's D'Angelo Russell. The rumor here isn't about the Nets. It's about the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Phoenix Suns. Both of them reportedly chasing the restricted point guard this summer. Now, of course, both the Suns and the Timberwolves are in desperate need of point guard help. They both wanted to draft a guard. Neither of them could get it done. The Timberwolves went out and got Jarrett Culver with actually the Phoenix Suns pick, and then the Suns went and got Cam Johnson. Neither of them addressed their need at point in the NBA draft, so maybe they make a point to do it this summer in NBA free agency, and they go get D'Angelo Russell. Now, neither of them have the max money to offer Russell right now, but if he says he wants to play there, I'm sure they'll find a way to open up that space. Because, look, the guy was an all-star. He had an incredible year for Brooklyn. He was in the running for most improved player. He almost won it, lost out to Pascal Siakam. Averaged 21.1 points per game, 3.9 rebounds, and a really good passer on a Brooklyn Net team that made the playoffs. 7 assists per game, 36.9% from beyond the three-point arc. Let's focus on one of those two teams here real quick. Let's look at the Phoenix Suns. This was the report on the Suns and D'Angelo Russell. The Suns will sign a veteran point guard, and Devin Booker has campaigned for Russell, a close friend. But other voices within the Suns may not share Booker's unabashed enthusiasm. So, Devin Booker, D'Angelo Russell, they're tight. They want to play together. You can call Russell a veteran point guard, but he's still super young and would fit in nicely with a young Suns core. So, potential starting 5, something we could see out on the floor next season in Phoenix. You go D'Lo and Devin Booker in the same backcourt, and that's immediately a 42-point per game scoring backcourt. Absolutely incredible. DeAndre Ayton was 3rd in Rookie of the Year voting by a sizable margin, but he is a great middleman, great man in the middle to anchor a defense, anchor really an offense too as a center. And then you got guys like Mikal Bridges and Dario Saric, who they just traded for. You can also throw in potentially Cam Johnson, who they just traded. Maybe you like him better there than Dario Saric. Maybe you bring back Kelly Oubre Jr., who's a restricted free agent, and you put him in there instead of Bridges. The Suns could actually have a pretty nice amount of depth if they go out and get D'Lo to anchor that point guard position, because they don't have anyone there right now. Devin Booker's been running point for them for much too long. But the other team we're talking about, the Minnesota Timberwolves, Karl-Anthony Towns has made it no secret, whether it's social media, whether it's in interviews, whatever it is, he is recruiting D'Angelo Russell. The two are super good friends. They always really weirdly wear each other's jerseys all over social media. It's actually pretty weird. But they're close, so that's cool. So they're recruiting to Minnesota. So all of a sudden you get D'Angelo Russell in at the point guard position next to your new prized rookie, Jarrett Culver, as your starting 2 guard. Pretty solid backcourt right there. And then Andrew Wiggins, who they are looking to trade. But in all reality, if you can go get Russell and you just drafted Culver, you don't have to rely on Wiggins as much, and maybe he becomes a better role player. And then, of course, the best player on this team, it's Karl-Anthony Towns, one of the top 3 centers in the league right now. And then Robert Covington is a nice forward you could slip in there in the starting 5. Maybe you like Taj Gibson in at the power forward position as well. Whatever it is, if the Timberwolves get D'Lo, they're going to be pretty stout in the Western Conference. So we talked about Phoenix, we talked about Minnesota. But who did I forget? Where will D'Angelo Russell actually end up this summer? Let me know in the comment section below. If you think he's going back to Brooklyn, which ain't looking likely right now, let me know. If you think he's going somewhere else, maybe you got a wild card for me, put it in the comment section below. Now on to one more restricted free agent. This time it is Malcolm Brogdon of the Milwaukee Bucks. The latest report, the latest rumor out there is that Milwaukee's preparing to let Malcolm Brogdon walk, a former Rookie of the Year, but if someone offers a $20 million contract to this guy, or maybe even more, Milwaukee's going to be thinking, should we actually do this and should we go into the luxury tax or should we just let them go, take Chris Middleton, Giannis, maybe bring back some other guys and see what we can do there? That's what Milwaukee's thinking right now. Now, he had an incredible season this past year. He was hurt up and down a lot, but when he was healthy, standout player. 15.6 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, 3.2 assists, and knockdown three-point shooter, 42.6%. And defensively, the guy is really, really good. I like Malcolm Brogdon a lot, but do you actually pay him $20 million? I don't know if that's worth it if you're the Milwaukee Bucks. But maybe, because they have a lot of free agents. There's a lot of guys you have to look at. Chris Middleton, he's probably getting the max because he was the only other All-Star alongside Giannis Antetokounmpo. You have to pay him and bring him back to start alongside him. And then you got Malcolm Brogdon there as a restricted guy. But then Brook Lopez, who was blocking shots and knocking down three-pointers at an incredible rate for a big man, is also a free agent that you got to take a look at. And then there's Nikola Mirotic. Now, Mirotic here is obviously the odd man out. But those top three guys, you have to decide, are you going to pay all three and go into the luxury tax, or are you going to let one walk, save some money for 2021 when Giannis enters unrestricted free agency? What are you going to do if you're the Bucks? Well, I'll tell you what Brogdon's going to do. He's going to go out and chase some money because teams are going to be willing to offer it to him. Now, in all reality, we have no idea who's chasing Brogdon. Like, this guy's summer free agency is almost as big of a mystery as DeMarcus Cousins. Not that big, but pretty close. But teams that would make sense are guys like the Indiana Pacers. Now, they need a new point guard. Brogdon showed that he can run the point. Maybe he fits in well there. Of course, the Milwaukee Bucks probably do want to bring him back. The Dallas Mavericks have a lot of ties to Virginia guys. They have said that they like Brogdon. They just don't think it's realistic. The Brooklyn Nets are a potential fit. Maybe they lose out on D'Lo. Maybe they only get Kyrie and they want to do a backcourt of Brogdon and Kyrie. Who knows? Maybe the Bulls could see Malcolm Brogdon as their point guard of the future. I don't know. But what I do know is some team is going to offer Malcolm Brogdon a lot of money, and the Bucks are going to be put in a tough position on whether or not they want to pay their guy. So look, their top three free agents, it's pretty obvious. It's Chris Middleton, Malcolm Brogdon, and Brook Lopez. And if you're the Bucks, which one, I'm only letting you choose one, do you prioritize the most? Do you think it's a max out on Chris Middleton? Would you rather bring back Malcolm Brogdon for about $20 million, or maybe you just pay Brook Lopez and let the other guys walk? Let me know by typing KM, MB, or BL in the comment section below.